Hi guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I'm Adam McCullough. This is tomorrow's transfers. Today, the fifth one in this summer's series of transfer videos. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Friday evening. I am Adam McCullough. This is Full Time Devils. Sorry if I just stared you out for a little bit there. I was just waiting for the app to let me know that I had gone live. Make sure you're getting your comments in. Make sure you're liking that video. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. This is tomorrow's transfers today, where we separate the facts from the bullshit and, of course, give you tomorrow's transfer news tonight. Hope you're doing well. Let's get stuck into this because we do have our first bit of confirmed news, and that is that Joe Riley, the under-23 captain last season, has left the club. I believe his contract was expiring, and the club have obviously opted not to renew that contract and have let Joel Riley leave. He's gone to Bradford City on a 2-year deal, and they're in League One, so it's a league where he's likely to get regular football. Hopefully, could be a part of a Bradford City side that get promoted into the Championship. You never know, and that could be great experience for him. At 21 years old, I think he got 2 first-team appearances under Louis van Gaal. Hasn't had much chance in the first team, unlikely to get much opportunity under Jose Mourinho, and now is the right time for Joel Riley to leave Manchester United. But good luck to Joel Riley. Hope he does well there, and hope he makes the academy proud, because players going away from the Manchester United academy, they're always associated with the academy, so you always like them to do well. I mean, you look around the Premier League and there are plenty of Manchester United ex-academy players that have gone on and done good things at a Premier League level or a Championship level. So yeah, Joel Riley, good luck to him. The first bit of confirmed transfer news of the summer. We've got plenty to talk about today. Not only Joel Riley, we're talking Roy Keane, we're talking Matteo Darmian, we're talking Alderweireld, and a little bit off producer Chris's agenda. We've got a little bit on Fabinho as well, which I'll tell you about at the end of the video. Secondly, though, it is Roy Keane. No, we're not signing Roy Keane. I wouldn't mind if we were bringing him in as an assistant manager or something like that, just to go crazy every now and then and give someone a bollocking. But Roy Keane has been talking to the press, and he has said United need to sign better players. Makes sense, doesn't it? Sign better players. But if you read into it, he has gone into a little bit of depth, and he's talking about Paul Pogba, and he's saying Paul Pogba needs better players around him, and he said that he was fortunate when he played for Manchester United. He had plenty of great players around him, Roy Keane did, and that's very true. He did when he came to the club. He was quite young. I think he arrived at the club at around 21, 22 years old from Nottingham Forest. Obviously, he had done very well at Forest, but when he came to the club, it was a big move for him, and he obviously needed the support and he needed the help of those players around him. He obviously grew and became a huge part of the club's success, took the captaincy when Eric Cantona retired from football, and grew into the Roy Keane that we know and love. But when he first came to the club, he did have a much better team around him, and I suppose he's sharing a little bit of sympathy towards Paul Pogba. How good would Paul Pogba be with a Roy Keane next to him? Can you imagine that? We'd only need to play 2 midfielders again. Could go back to the 4-4-2 days. That's how good Roy Keane was. Miss that guy so much. So much. Love Keano. No matter how many digs he takes or whatever he says here and there, always love Keano. Anyway, the title was 95% Darmian. Yes, because Two-Toe Sport, and thanks to Sport Witness for this, Two-Toe Sport are a funny one. What they do is they always give a list of players that are linked with a club, and they just constantly update the percentage of how likely they think that move is done. And Darmian's is now at 95%, which doesn't surprise me. He's been linked with Juventus for a very long time. United are obviously apparently interested in Juventus' Alexandro, so we could be sitting at the table discussing both players. But it looks like Darmian is set for Juventus. It's a good move for him. Look, it didn't quite work out for him at Manchester United, but I think he'll do well at Juventus. I think Darmian's a decent player. It just hasn't gone to plan for him. He maybe not quite cut out to be a Manchester United player, but I think he'll do well at Juventus, and good luck to him. And it seems like we'll recoup most of the money that we did spend on him, which is around 15 million euros or 15 million pounds or whatever it is, which is pretty good as well. But it looks like Darmian could be set for a move to Juventus, and it's 95% done, according to Tutto Sport. Will Matteo Darmian's name be the second on this out list? Will it be the second confirmed transfer? Could it be Fellaini going to AC Milan at the end of his contract? We don't know yet. But the only one that is confirmed is Joe Riley to Bradford City. Darmian is still a Manchester United player for now. Moving on to Alderweireld, and of course, linked into that is Anthony Martial. But you can tell I'm in a good mood today, so you know this isn't going to be negative news. ESPN are saying that Manchester United have been in negotiations with Tottenham Hotspur for Alderweireld, which I think has been reported quite a lot by different outlets. So it seems like there could be something in this. They say in those negotiations, Tottenham have inquired about Anthony Martial, and Manchester United told them, "Yeah, that's what happened. That's what should have happened. United should have gave him, just told him to do one. Are you taking the mick? We will not give you Anthony Martial." Now I hope Anthony Martial stays at Manchester United. But if Jose was stupid enough to sell him, I hope he wouldn't be stupid enough to sell him to another Premier League side. And Anthony Martial is a player that needs to be at Manchester United next season. So the fact that we're hearing that our board does not want to sell him is music to my ears, and I hope it remains that way for the rest of the summer. Tony Marshall needs to be here next season. That is not the problem for United. A problem is our defence, and talk about Alderweireld coming in. I hope it's Tottenham just trying their luck, and eventually they'll take the money for him. Anyway, that was it of producer Chris's list of transfers for us to talk about today, and the news that we took together from tonight's headlines, tomorrow's transfers today. But I have got another one for you as well, because it's been circulating. So I just want to chat to you guys about this one, because what we do here at Full Time Devils is make you guys relax so you don't look too stupid to your mates piping up about transfers that United might not actually be getting. Now, Mohamed Bouhafsi has been tweeting about Manchester United being interested in Fabinho and being in negotiations with Monaco for the player. Now, I do believe this chap is supposed to be quite reliable, although myself, I can't remember, if he is or not. Some of you guys can probably profess differently in the comments. But one thing that worries me about this one, whilst it'd be great if we replaced the outgoing Carrick and Fellaini with potentially Fred and Fabinho, whilst that would be great, Fabinho can play right back as well. We know we need a right back. Whilst it would be great, Atletico Madrid have been linked with Fabinho for a few weeks now. And what I hope this isn't, if it is true, great stuff, but it might be something like, Monaco putting pressure on Atletico Madrid to get more money up. Something like that. So I'm hoping that's not the case, but just don't get too excited over that Fabinho news yet. Let's see if it develops. Let's see if there's something else that comes from it. One move potentially coming in that does look quite close is the Fred one, because he's been talking about it today and saying there's United interest, etc. But nothing has been done officially yet. Anyway, guys, that is tomorrow's transfers today. I'm going to dive into your comments for a little bit before we head off, but that is the news. Joe Riley has been confirmed as the first transfer involving Manchester United, and it's one out to Bradford City. Roy Keane says we should sign better players. Cheers, Roy. Darmian is 95% complete to Juventus, says Tutto Sport. Alderweireld discussions are ongoing with Spurs, say ESPN, but Martial is not a part of them, and Spurs have been knocked back on that one. They do want around 55 million, apparently. And Fabinho, who has been linked to United through Mo Bouhafsi, we need to just wait a little bit on that one. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Your comments are, yes, just like the chap says, Nadeem says, we got over 550 watching, but we haven't got many likes. So get hitting that like button. It helps us, boosts us in the algorithm, whatever you call it. It boosts us in that. So yeah, bang that like button. Make sure you're subscribing. We want to hit 500k as soon as possible. We've got loads coming up for you over the summer. Pre-season tour stuff, transfer stuff, all that jazz. So make sure you do that. Who do you want to replace Darmian, says John. Let's bring Timmy Fosu-Mensah back. Yeah, let's do that. Milinkovic-Savic should be the midfielder we signed, says Danny B. Marshall is staying, says Sahib. Sandro and Alderweireld could really strengthen our defence, says Uzi. DC says press that like button and get rid of the dead wood, says Wes. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be back with tomorrow's transfers today, next Monday. It's not me, so it might be Howson, I think. But yeah, make sure you join us next Monday at 11 PM. And if something does happen to pop off over the weekend, then Full Time Devils will be live to keep you up to date. Anyway, I've been Adam McCullough, out of here.